shirt from?
This shirt is from Hollister. I ripped it right out the page.
Oh, this new?
Yeah, everything I ordered is new.
You don't iron.
I don't. I didn't have enough time. I didn't want to be late.
These, where you get these from?
These is from Hollister too.
Oh, I don't shop there.
No, these from Target.
Are they?
Yes, these are from Target. I popped the thing on because I don't like it when you like.
Oh, you don't. Oh, you like your knees to be out.
Yeah.
You should put some lotion on. You didn't put lotion on. That's because you like seeing you got a lotion. So what's going on, girl?
Nothing much.
Did you start doing your therapy?
My therapy is my first session is on Saturday.
Virtual.
You
scared?
You think so?
I'm asking you.
I am a little bit. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna open up to her right away.
Why? You open up to me, you only know me like 6 months.
I don't know. Like, it's just different. She's white. And I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to open up to her. Like, she's a complete stranger. So, I don't know.
I was a complete stranger.
It's different. We got the same skin
complexion. Okay. So you talked to your mom?
I had a conversation with her yesterday.
Oh, you did?
I did. I don't really want to continue to keep talking to her because I feel like she puts me in this dark place. Like, every time I talk to her, I get so mad with the world because of what she's done. And my dad was telling me, like, I see the way, like, how you act, like, once you get done talking to her, like, it's just, like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to shut down. I don't want to talk. But she just makes me mad because, like, you need to acknowledge what you do as a mom. Like, you know, like, you haven't been here all this time. At least you could do is, like, you know, make up for lost time. But you're not even trying to do that. And then, like, I called trying to speak to you, and you act like you don't want to talk to me. So, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to keep trying. Like, I'm in a position where I'm transitioning into adulthood, and I'm trying to move on with my life. It's like, either you're going to be there or you're not. I'm not going to force you to be here because one day I'm going to have to move on with my life, too. So, I told her that yesterday, and she hung up the phone on me. So, I guess that's just that.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess tell me what it's like being a girl dad. Like, you're like a hardcore girl dad.
Well, like, you know, it was really hard at first, like, coming up, like, going to the nail salon with my dad because you don't ever see no men in the nail salon unless they getting their toes done or something like that. But, like, my dad actually sitting in the nail salon with me and just, like, you know, sitting beside me and getting his toes done with me and getting his nails done with me. It just felt weird at first because, you know, like, when I had my other friends, like, from middle school, they would be like, you know, I'm doing this for my mom, I'm doing this for my mom, I'm doing this. And all I could think in the back of my mind was like, well, damn, I did that with my dad. I did that with my dad. But then I really am thankful that I do have a dad because, you know, some people don't have no parents at all. So I like, sometimes I sit and I talk to my dad and I cry and I'm like, Dad, like, what would I really do without you? Because what would I do without you? If I'm feeling this way without my mom, how would I feel this way how would I feel if I didn't have no parents at all? And then it's like, you know, my dad isn't really that close with his mom. So I talked to
your grandma. Is it grandma that you close with? Oh, okay.
He isn't really that close with her like how I am. But she was in my life, but she wasn't really in his. So she'll, like, I'll go to her about little things, but like, you know how you don't feel comfortable talking to everybody? Like, I would feel comfortable with telling my dad, like, something about a boy than rather telling my grandma. Like, and it might sound weird, but that's just how it is. Like, if, believe it or not, my dad taught me everything about, like, my period. And I don't even know. He must have been looking this up on the internet or something. But he taught me everything about my menstrual. He taught me everything about boys. And it's good learning about boys from a guy's perspective. And then, like, I think that's why sometimes my mom be like, far as a dude wise, like, I don't really want to argue with you. I'm just gonna walk away.
Because you're learning from
because I'm learning from a guy
perspective.
But I really do appreciate him. Like, I really don't know what I would do without him. Like, he really be pushing me. Like, you know, you can't give up. Like, and sometimes you want to sit down and talk, but like you said, I think he probably went through something in his life where he doesn't know how to talk, but he pushes me to go harder. Like, you don't want that life for yourself. Like, even though you're going through something, push and go through because in the end it's going to be worth it.
So, I was telling this to Belinda. So when I first started Just a Girl, well, when I originally came with the idea for Just a Girl, it was intended to be, I wanted it to be geared toward teenage girls. And the reason that I wanted it to be, I called it Just Two Girls, because I felt like so many young girls were like very masculine or like boyish or just really like hard, and like, you know, like that whole like I don't have girlfriends, I don't talk to girls are catty, drama. So I felt like, and even just then, like I don't show emotions. It was just so much of like, where are these girls, or like even like younger women too, but like why are so many young girls, like how do you not have friends, like how do you not have girlfriends and you like 17, like how do you just have boyfriends, or like how do you not just being like a girl, like you just like, you know, girl stuff. So that was like the original idea of like girls being girly and being feminine and being soft and just being like, how do we still be like, how do we still push through, like we still push through, we still gotta tackle life, but do it in the feminine way, right? Like in the womanly way, shall I say. So do you feel like, with like obviously being raised with your dad, by your dad, of like his push, do you feel like it was, you're being I guess molded more of like from a man's perspective of how you, not how you should behave, but like how you handle certain things?
I do, because my way of handling things, like I won't sit there and yell at you, I won't sit there and show you how I feel. I'll walk away and I'll deal with it on my own. And I feel like that's what men do. Like they walk away, they'll deal with it on their own, or they put it behind them and deal with it another time. And that's what I do, because that's what I seen my dad do. Like far as showing my emotions, like I don't feel like it's corny, but I just never been able to actually show emotion. Like I'll show emotion like towards my dad, but nobody else.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit down with him and I'll cry and I'll do the thing. But anybody else, like I feel like I gotta hold back my tears and be strong. Like so, like I don't want you to see me as a weak person by crying, and I want you to see me as strong. Like even though I'm going through this, I'm strong. Like I'm gonna make it through.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel bad or feel no sympathy for me, because you know everybody go through stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
But I guess is the question, like why is showing emotions weak? Like where do you think they come from?
A man is taught that.
Yeah, I agree.
A man is taught at a very young age, like, don't show no emotion, you have to be tough, you have to be the backbone of the family, you can't show no emotion to your girlfriend, no wife, no nothing. And being raised by my dad, that's what I was taught. Like, you know, showing him, he never showed me, like, you know, explain how you feel. Like, I do it to him just because, like, who else am I going to do it to?
Yeah.
But I don't never, like, you know, go out and just be talking to my friends and I bust out crying.
Yeah.
Like, I'll bust out crying somewhere by myself, because I don't want you to see me as a weak person.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's weak, but then I feel like it's not weak. I feel like if you let a person know how you feel, it'll make it better. But then in my mind, it's like, I've been taught this all this time. So even though I think it, I go with the same routine. Like, I do the same thing every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like two sides to it, right? So like, but so many women are raised by their mothers who are taught that, like, I don't necessarily think most women are taught showing your emotions are weak by another woman. I think you just start to grow up with women who don't show their emotions just because of like whatever they might have gone through, where they like, I don't show my emotions because last time I showed my emotions I got hurt or whatever, so I start to put up this wall. But I think most women or young women like your age, they start to like put up this wall, or like, I don't want to say imitate, but like show a more man's perspective of how you behave, just based on like what you see your mother act, right? So like you're viewing it from like how your dad raised you as a man, which would make sense because it's a man, right? But then when you learn this behavior from a woman, where you would think we would learn to be more softer, to not be as aggressive, to not do certain things, it's like we're learning the same thing, but I'm learning from a man and a woman, like, which is crazy. Like, you would think it should be two totally different ways of learning certain things from a man and a woman, but yet in our community, men and women kind of act like men, right? Like, we just act the same way. It's like, it's no different. We teach our kids as women to not show emotions, or you just suck it up, and again, that's kind of what you've been taught. And I think that you know, like what you and I have been talking about a lot of like not having your mom and realizing like all the things that you don't think that you need from like a mom, or like from like all your life you might have not thought you needed your mom there, or you thought like I'm fine, my dad told me this, my dad told me that, I'm good. Then you realize that you get to a certain age of like I need that womanly like thing, right? So I think as you think about it more, like what do you think like you're missing, or like you feel like now it's like I need this that I know I don't have?
I feel like I'm missing the conversation, like just the talk, like you know, just the womanly talk, or the womanly like you know transitioning. It was one thing transitioning into a teen, but it's another transitioning into a woman. Like I feel like my dad cannot teach me how to be a woman. That's something that my mom should have been there to teach me. And like I told you, like that's something I will never forget. Like that's going to be in the back of my mind forever, because even now that I'm giving you the opportunity to be a mom to me, it's like you're brushing me off to the side and just saying, you know, F that, your dad got it. Yeah. So I salute him for trying to do the best that he can, but he can't teach me that. Yeah. You know, I could go to anybody. Like I could go to my grandma, I could go to my aunt, but they don't, like, they're not my mom. Yeah. Like that's my grandma. That's my aunt. Yeah. So they don't know how to like. My grandma doesn't have. She has my aunt. That's it. And my aunt doesn't have any kids. So how can she tell me how to be a girl? Like, I mean, she could tell me how to be a woman. Yeah. But, like, I feel like it would be better coming from your mom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, she birthed me. So, there's no way, like, you can't sit down with me and just have a one-on-one conversation with me. You know, take me downtown, talk to me. Take me anywhere, talk to me. You know, just to talk. Like, it don't even have to be about spending money. It's just all about the time. And the time is something that has been missed all this time. Yeah. Like, and it's something that you can't get back. And when I'm like washing my hands with it, I don't want to feel like I'm the wrong person. And that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like a bad person for like kind of washing my hands with it. But I want that. I want to have a mom. Like I want to say I'm going this place and that place with my mom. I don't want to keep saying like, I love to say it, but it's just I don't want to keep saying like, I'm doing this with my dad, I'm doing this with my dad, I'm doing this with my dad, I'm doing this with my dad. Like, no, when am I ever going to be able to say I'm doing this with my mom, or I'm going this place with my mom? Never. I'm coming to the conclusion it's never going to be that way. She hangs up, she brushes me up. I don't know if it's guilt, I don't know if she just don't want to talk to me, but you know, I can't keep trying and forcing something that's not there.
So I think that it's not like, the hard part is, right, like some of the things that I think a lot of moms, like you pointed out, a lot of moms, or just women in general, when you think about like how you're raised, most people, I think, as women, you really do just want like the time with your mom, or like just those conversations, like you said, just about anything. Like it don't even have to be about anything for real. Like I just want to talk to my mom about like real life stuff, right? And I think that that's one of the things that even though like have my mom all my life, we've never like really had like a real woman to woman like just life conversation. We just haven't. And I don't know if we ever will, because it's just not my mom's personality. I don't know why. I don't know what I don't know. I can't, to save my life, I have no idea why. But I've accepted that, I guess. Like, you know, I understand that that's just kind of who it is, but it is still hurtful to know, like, we never really been able just to talk about, like, just, like, life stuff. Like, you know, like, just real life. Like, so what was, like, growing up for you? Like, how was it? Like, just tell me about whatever. Like, you know, I never. So it's, like, the things that, I think you pick up on certain things as you grow up as a young woman of, like, having my mom, but I also knew, like, that was what I was still missing. Like, do you think it's, as it approaches graduation, it's becoming, like, you been thinking about it more, or you feel like, what do you feel like started it becoming, like, more of, like, affecting you, like, your mom?
Graduation, definitely, because, like, I remember graduating in 8th grade, and my dad, like, shows me the video all the time, and I'm just I missed my name being called up Miss Utu
Why?
2 times. Like looking,
For your mom.
literally searching for her. Like I was blocking everything out, but I was looking through the rows, looking for her, making sure that she was there, and she didn't come. She lied and said she was there. Nobody seen her. She didn't know what I had on. She lied and said I had on blue. Everybody know I had on the flowery dress. Like, come on now. And she just, you know, like now I'm thinking about the same thing. Like, should I invite her? Should I not? Do I want to get my hopes up or do I not? Like, graduating is supposed to be a happy time. And I don't want to be sad on my 12th grade graduation. I was already sad on my 8th. I didn't want to do nothing but go in my room and close the door. Like, I got the certificate and I just, you know, I didn't want to do nothing. Like, the party, I wasn't even really existing. Like, everybody else was having fun. And nobody didn't even know that I wasn't even out and doing what I need to do, but my dad. Like, he knows I was just upstairs, just like not paying nobody no mind. Because I wish she was there. Like, you know, you don't tell a child like, okay, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. That's like taking me to the candy store and telling me I can't get nothing. Like, I'm gonna expect for you to be there if you tell me you're gonna be there. You know, and I don't wanna have that same thing now. Like, it's like she's trying to play mom, but she's not. Like, I want to come to your graduation. Like, can you give me a ticket? If I give you a ticket, are you going to come? I wasted a ticket on you for my 8th grade graduation. So if I waste a ticket on you on my 12th, that's going to break the shell even more. I'm gonna really be broken, and I'm transitioning into adulthood, and I'm supposed to be going to college. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to push through with that mindset because I did it halfway through going into high school, but I don't feel like going to college is like a different ball game. And I don't know if I want to put myself through that again. So, and then she just showing me signs of like why I shouldn't put myself through it. Like, why would you tell me that you didn't want to talk to me like I did something to you, and then you hanging up on in my face? Like, how do you think that make me feel? As your daughter, like, it don't even matter like how you feeling. Put that to the side. I didn't do anything to you at all. Like, I didn't ask to be here. Like, there's no way you. I like look at her in so many different ways. Like, now that I'm grown up and I see what she's done over the years. Like, how do you just give your daughter to her dad? Like, just honey, like just you just gotta do what you gotta do. Like, how do you do that? How do you expect a man to raise his daughter? Like, I remember back when I was 5 and my dad would give me a little crooked part with the 2 ponytails. Like, how did you expect him to do that? Like, how? Like, he did it, but like that wasn't his job. Like, you know, you could have been a weekend mom. You could have did, you know, let me have her 2 days out of the week. I can't do it every day. I want to work, but I just want to get her after school and then I'll give her right back to you. You didn't do nothing. It's not like you put any type of effort or anything. Like, you just said F me and you just went on with your life. I see pictures of her and my brother on down the line. When I'm here still. Like, you going on cruises, you going on trips, you doing the happy birthday thing. I don't even remember the last time I got a happy birthday from you. In your case, you gave birth to me. I know you should remember you got a line on your stomach from getting a C-section, and you think my birthday is April 18th. How do you think my birthday is April 18th? Like, that really cut deep. Like, that really cut deep. Like, how don't you know when you gave birth? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, so I don't know if she tried to do it to be smart or like, but it's really damaging me as a person. Like, it's like, I don't know, like I said, I don't want to have kids because I'm scared. Like, I'm going to be a failure as a mom because I never been like, you know, I never had the mothering type. And I don't want to, like, I'm not saying my dad did a bad job, but I want to be a mom to my kids. Like, I want to tell them, like, sit down, you can express this, that, and the third to me. Like, I don't want to be like how my dad is with me. Like, he wants me to keep everything in and push through. Like, so I'm just scared. Like, I'm scared to move on with life. Like, it's different now. Like, I'm considered an adult now. So I'm really scared to like really push through. Cause I don't know how I'm gonna be. Like, coming into it, am I gonna fail? Am I gonna succeed? Like, I don't know. And all because I don't have my mom.
As far as, so I'll tell you this about like pushing through, right? So when I was in college, I don't know about I never told you that about my dad not coming to my graduations, did I?
You did.
I did. So with that happened to me, right? Like, so my dad not coming to my graduations both times. I remember feeling like that feeling of like, how do I like, this changes my life now. Like, I already know in my mind I'm not going to talk to my dad anymore. But I also knew in my mind, like, now I'm kind of scared because I'm making a decision. I don't want to talk to him anymore because he let me down. But I also know, like, I do need my dad, right? And it's scary because I was going through, like, transitioning into, like, now I have, like, my husband at the time, like, you know, my husband. I wanted my dad to, like, kind of give me advice on, like, just men, and, like, you know, now I'm, like, out of college, now I'm having a baby. Like, so it was so much stuff happening in my life that I was scared of. Like, I needed my dad. And I almost feel like I needed my dad more because I didn't want to really talk to my mom. Like, I didn't really want to talk to her, which was, like, the sucky part of, like, having my mom and, like, not really wanting to, because my dad just always, like, was much more calmer. And again, it just might be just the man's personality of, like, how you communicate. But that was for me of, like, I'm not going to have my dad because of my decision based on his decision. But I also know, like, I don't want to talk to my mom because she just be... So no, what I was saying was about being scared. I remember that feeling of, like, being scared of, like, where do I go with life. But I guess my question of, like, what scares you most? Like, is it scared of, like, failing, or, like, what is it that you are afraid of? Like, you're about to go to college.
I'm scared to, like, fail.
You navigate on your own well, like, you...
Yeah, I'm just scared of, like, failing and not going through. Like, I know, like, this is something that I really want and I really want to push through with it. But I don't know, like, you know, anything could happen. Like, I don't want to think the worst, but how can you not? Like, you know, like, I like to think both sides. So I don't want to get to college and just, like, you know, be a complete failure, because this is something I really want to become a nurse. I really want to do that, but
like, what would you like if the question is, if you do, hypothetically, if you fail at college, then what?
That's what I'm saying.
But then what does that mean?
I don't have a backup plan. I know everybody should have one, but I really don't.
And then the other question is, what if you don't fail? If you don't, then what?
If I don't fail, then I'm gonna just keep riding to the top.
So I guess that's my thing of, like, you realizing, like, it's always gonna be, I could fail and I might not, like, you know. But I also recognize, like, we don't really realize, like, the fear of, like, stuff that gets in our way of, like, not having those, like, key people in our life, like our parents, right? And one of the hard parts is, when we think reality, think about, like, failing college is no correlation realistically of, like, your mom. Like the two don't really correlate of, like, not having your mom means you're gonna fail your class. But in reality, it does correlate, because you might feel like, if I had her to tell me I can do it, or to whatever it might be, that might be the make and break you doing it. But I think knowing that you don't at this time, because you don't know what can happen, maybe next year she could be in your life, who knows, you could be at a place where now, like, you don't have her, but, like, knowing that, what do I have to do to still push through, because I can't call my mom, and I know if I call my dad, he's going to give me this type of advice. So who do I lean on in those moments of, nobody can replace your mom, we know that, but, like, how do I not live my life in fear? Because you can't live in fear of, like, what if I fail? Because there's always going to be a possibility of anything that you do, I could fail at it. But if I fail, I just get back, I try again. Like, so what? I fail at it, it didn't work out that time. I keep pushing, right? And the scary part of it is, do you think your mom's a failure? Like, has she failed a lot of things?
She failed me.
Okay.
I don't really know her that well to know anything about her. Like, did she graduate from college? Did she graduate from high school? Did she even go to college? Like, I don't know her like that to actually speak on it. But, you know, the way that she is, I wouldn't put it past me. Like, the way that, you know.
So you feel like, do you feel like you're afraid that you are her?
I feel like in like a sense, I know I have two lines of blood running through me. And I know in a sense, like, I'm being raised by my dad, but I also have some ways like my mom. Like, when I get mad, I'm told that I act like her. Like, because one time, man, it's like everything's coming up since I bottle everything in. And, it's just a constant, like, you don't know what, I don't know what I'm going to say because it's just going to come out. Like, I don't know. I don't mean to be rude. And it's not, like, to hurt anybody, but it's just coming out. And that's how she is. Like, she just bursts. Now, this is what is coming from my dad because I don't know her. Right. But, like my dad says, like, that's how she was. When he sees me burst.
So, who do you feel like really knows you? Like, who do you feel like has taken the time to really get to know you? Like, and you, as of right now, as the young woman you're becoming to be, like, who is getting to know you for you?
I have 3 people. They're all dudes, though. I have my dad, my brother, and Christian. I feel like those 3 people actually know me because, like, those are the 3 people that seen the real me, like that seen the me mad, the happy me, the sad me, the crying me, the happy me, the angry me. Like, those people seen it, and those people sit down. And, well, Christian and my brother sit down, they talk to me, like, like, what's wrong? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, what are you doing that for? Like, trying to actually figure out what's going on. And my dad, I feel like he knows me, but he doesn't know how to deal with how I act because he wasn't raised to show emotion. So when I show emotions, like, give me a hug, everything's gonna be okay. Like, but just push through. Those are his favorite 2 lines. Everything's gonna be okay. Just push through. I got your back. Right. And on the other hand, like my brother, we grew up exactly the same. Like, we grew up with the stepmom, the dad. Our moms just left us. Like, his mom just gave him to our dad. My mom just gave him to our dad. So he actually knows how I feel, and he's there all the time because he says, like, when he was going through it, he didn't have no siblings to go and run to. He didn't have nobody to go and run to. My dad would tell him the same thing. And, my dad's definitely telling him the same thing because he's a dude. Right. So he said, like, like any time you want to talk, or he calls and checks up on me, he does, like, random pop-ups at my house, like a weirdo. Like, he's there. Like, he's there as a big brother should. And Christian, that's somebody that I'm dating right now, and I spend a lot of time with him. So, of course, sometimes I'm not always going to be happy. Sometimes I might come out the house with attitude because my mom just hung up in my face. Right. Like yesterday, I came out the house with attitude because my mom hung up in my face. And he's like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? Like, don't tell me nothing because it's not nothing. Because you don't just come out of the blue and have no attitude. Right. And I just explained to him what's wrong. And that's just my thing. Like, I will tell you nothing. Like, and you probably won't even bug me and press me about it if you don't know me. Like, if you know me, if I tell you nothing, my face look like this, it's something. Like, so I do appreciate all 3 of them. Like, they give me hell, all 3. But they are, like, a main factor in my life. They keep me pushing. Like, and I don't know, like, as far as Christian, like, we're just getting together. I feel like I appreciate him for that. But as far as my dad and my brother, I don't know what I would do without them. Because they are, like, my main factors in my life. The 2 people that actually keep me going. Like, don't stop. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, don't stop. It's not the end. Like, and I appreciate it.
So with the men in your life, and as you are becoming a young woman, which you are, when it comes down to, like, if you had a role model growing up, a female, even, I know some people look up to, like, celebrities, or even right now in your life, like, who is a woman in your life that you look up to?
I would say you and my aunt. Oh. Like, it's really hard for me to try to open up to people. And it's really surprising that I actually sat down and literally, I tell you everything, like how I'm feeling. And I don't do that with my aunt, but she's there. Like, she tries, but I just don't feel comfortable, like, talking to her. Yeah, he's gonna have to wait. I just don't feel comfortable talking to her, like, in a sense, like, she's...
Is it because she's older?
She's the same age as my dad. They're twins.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But I just don't feel comfortable talking to her. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, something in my, like, so it's like something in the back of my mind just tells me, like, hold back even when I try to talk to her. Like, I don't know. But I do appreciate her, though. Like, she does a lot. You know, she helps my dad. I know when I'm going through something, I know my dad will call her in a heartbeat. And she helps a lot, like, far as with graduation and everything. She's helped a whole lot. And she helps, like, with everything. Like, she's, like, really cool.
Yeah.
But far as anybody else, no. Just you and my aunt.
Oh. When it comes down to, like, you as a young woman, who do you, like, how do you describe yourself? Like, if I didn't know you, who are you?
Like, in words, I'm very fierce. And I feel like that's a one word thing. Like, I'm just fierce. Like, I can be kind, I could be nice, but on the other hand, I have another side too. Like, and I don't want people to get on that side, but I have another side.
Yeah.
So I don't even describe myself with those words. I just say fierce.
Why not though?
Like, because what about the other side?
Yeah, what about the other side though? Like, what's, like, the other side is still you. It don't take away from, like, if I don't know, whatever that other side might be. What, it's you, right? That doesn't determine, like, the other side. I think we can all have a different side of, like, when we get mad, we act this way, or when we do this, but it doesn't determine, like, just because you have a side of you that you don't really like, doesn't mean it makes you a bad person. It doesn't mean there's anything takes less away from, like, who you're going to be. It might be, when you think about who that person is, or when you have to show that other side, it may not always feel good to show the other side to people, but the only way you can stop that side from constantly coming out is just doing the work on, you know, on you to keep that side from coming out, or not even just the side, but just having to, like, bring up those feelings and emotions, because that's really what it is. Like, that side comes out probably the more you think about whatever it is you're going through, whatever you're feeling. But I think as you go through life and you're going into this chapter of, like, adulthood, you're going to have to really figure out, like, the question is, like, do you know you? Like, do I know who I am, the woman that I am, and the woman that I want to be? Even with these, I'm not even going to say limitations, like, but I think you can't go through life being afraid of, like, the unknown, which is the scary part. And even when you get to college and, like, you're going to meet some people and you're going to meet some professors and people who are going to really take a liking to you and, like, understand your story, and you never know where it's going to take you with your journey of nursing, and you never know. Like, you have no idea where it's going to lead you. It's just realizing and recognizing that you are going to be successful despite your story, right? Like, this is who you are, this is your upbringing, and you can still be the woman you want to be. Like, when you think back to, like, even though you was raised by a man, what do you see in yourself that you don't have, that you need from a woman?
The talk. Just the talk. And, like, you know, like, the womanly things. Like, far as, I don't feel like my dad should have taught me about my menstrual. Like, I feel like that's something she should have did. But the talk, you know, just being there, just being present. Like, absence is just not a comfortable thing for me. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong as a child or as a teenager when I'm not.
You're not. And the thing is, like, with all that, don't take away from how amazing of a woman you will be. It might alter, you know, your route in life of things that might, you know, change, but it doesn't take away from, like, you still can be the most amazing woman. You can still be totally different from your mom. You can still have similar traits of hers, but still be so different, right? And it doesn't take away from, like, can't change, like you said, what's in your blood, who you are, and where you came from. We can't change those things. All we can do is figure out, like, how do I always make sure I'm doing the work for myself, so that way I can be my best self. And I know before anybody else gets to know me, I have to make sure I get to know myself first. And that way people will get to know you. And like I said, a lot of girls, I feel like, are struggling with this idea, like, people don't know who they are. Like, the people even closest to them have no idea who I am. Like, you don't even know me. Like, you have no idea. And I think that's the sad part for me with, like, so many girls and their moms, of, like, it's so toxic and it's so much. You know how many girls and told me that they fought their mom, like, really fist fought, like their mom. And it's like, it's your mom. Like, how do you even, for a mom to do that to a daughter, and a daughter to do that to a mom, but it's only, like, what my mom did to me, or like, you know, so it just be a complete repeated cycle of just women who are so, you have to just be so tough and so hard, and you're afraid to, like, show emotions and let your guard down and just be a little bit more softer. Like, that's scary for women to be like, I'm not about to be soft, like, I'm not about to let you see me in that light. And it's, like, sad that that's how we are as women, especially black women. We already have this idea, like, we're bitches and we don't know how to act and we are a certain way, and then you add that to it. It's like, and we also feel like, yeah, I'm not going to change who I am, this is how I'm gonna be. But it's like, in reality, like, in the real world, people don't like those type of people. Like, they don't want to be around those type of women who are nasty and loud and hard and aggressive and just, but in reality they don't know that that's just kind of who you have become based on your upbringing. But again, they don't care. Like, I don't care what you went through. Like, I don't really want to be around nobody like that. I don't want to be around a woman like that. Like, when you get to college, you'll see a host of so many different people, and you might start to even question your childhood even more. Like, once you meet even more people, where they came from, what they've been through, and it's hard to see anything different because all you know is, like, what you've been through. But once you get out there, you'll see so many people who have been through some of the same things and they still pushing through. And your dad is right, you gotta push through, but you have to do it in a way knowing, like, it's okay to push through, but to still deal with it. Like, dealing with it is pushing through, but pushing through for most people means, like, don't think about it, push through, and not even gonna worry about it and just act like it never happened. But it don't really, it's easier said than done to act like it didn't happen, you know what I mean? So I think that if you could say anything to your mom right now, if I was her, like, talking to me as her, what would you say?
Why? I only have one word for her. Like, why? Could you give me, like, a full explanation? Like, what were you going through so bad that you couldn't pick up the phone and tell me happy birthday? Congratulations. Nothing. Why?
What if she said, I don't know?
How? How don't you know? Like, and then I'm giving you the opportunity to be the mom that you never were.